There's a number of quite scurrilous posts in the comments section, and I want to pick up one by Tony Dick, who is dealing with the issue. I was talking about why Putin's war is wrong, and one of the reasons for the war is apparently that Ukraine is a neo-Nazi state. And Tony Dick repeats a trope about Ukrainians dressed in Nazi SS uniform trudging through trenches and fire model rifles in a reconstruction of a key battle against the Soviets during World War II. An Orthodox priest leads a ceremony for fallen soldiers of the Nazi unit, sprinkling his blessing over several men sporting swastikas who lower a coffin in a ritual reburial. Yes, fairly repulsive stuff. I think what they're doing is commemorating Stepan Bandera, who was a hero of Ukraine, a nationalist who sided with the Nazis in order to promote Ukrainian nationalism during the Soviet Union. Tony Dick also references Human Rights Watch about LGBT pride organisers who were forced to cancel a march and so on. The point is, all of this is from 2013, before the current president was elected. And the current president, of course, is Jewish. The current president was elected to root out corruption, number one. Number two, there may well have been small pockets of Nazi sympathisers, and they may well have been linked to a veneration or respect for Bandera. There may well have been links with Viktor Yushchenko, posthumously awarding the title Hero of Ukraine to Bandera. And the promotion of these stories may well have led to stories in the Israel in the Times of Israel and so on. I fully accept that, except there isn't the evidence of Ukrainians bashing their victims with lead pipes and going around the place stirring up trouble as paramilitaries, bringing people into the country and fomenting trouble. I'm quite sure that the Azov Brigade and other communities in Ukraine responded to the attacks and the provocations of the Wagner Brigade and the other private paramilitaries who were sent by the Kremlin into the Donbass to stir up trouble. And this sort of quoting from 2013, Putin officially annexed Crimea in 2014, and he didn't invade until 2022. So there's a long period between these different events, and Zelensky, as I say, was not in power in 2013. Indeed, he was criticizing the corruption of the government in 2013. All of this panders to the Russian propaganda effort, and I find it slightly disappointing, and it all seems to come from the same group of people. And At the point, Tony Dick says, your propaganda will only work if people do not know the truth. I could list incidents in Ukraine involving extreme right-wing elements all night, as could any genuinely curious person. Well, please go ahead and do so. There are plenty of extreme right-wing groups in Britain, in America, in most countries in Europe. They're small, as indeed there would be small groups of crazy people in Ukraine. And that doesn't mean that Ukraine is a neo-Nazi state. And that's the point. But when you have a paramilitary organization that is so close to the leadership of the Kremlin, as Prigozhin's Wagner group was, when that group is named after Hitler's favourite composer, when that group has a reputation for bashing people and torturing people and behaving like thugs, behaving like Nazi fascists, like a revival of the 1930s, the black shirts or whatever. Well, then I think we know who the fascists are. Then I think we know who the Nazis are. And they were the ones imported into Ukraine by Putin. So let's draw a line under that one. And Tony Dick, if you want to give me lots of evidence from lots of sources for Ukrainian neo-Nazi activity post-2013, please go ahead. Detail it. I'd be really interested. Or rather, post-Zelensky. Detail it. I'd be interested. But also, please, detail the activities of the Wagner Brigade and the atrocities committed by the Wagner Brigade. Let's do a comparison.